Triple hits all the time.
We are family.
Mexers are double-digit Ks.
We're busting ours to kick yours.
Fun to watch.
Minus 15.
Respect all, fear none.
Into the upper deck.
Intensity is not a curfew.
Oh, mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome into MASN All Access. I'm your host, Paul Mancano, coming to you again from my apartment on this Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that from wherever you're joining us, you're safe, you're home, you're healthy, and you're with your family. History was made last night. For the first time since 1896, the Orioles won 3 games in one day. Now, that Orioles team ended up becoming the New York Yankees in 1913, but that's not the point. An O's team led by Dwight Smith Jr. won 3 out of their 4 games last night in MLB The Show's players-only tournament. And in just a bit, I'm going to have Dwight on to discuss his 3-for-4 night and chat about how he's keeping himself busy during baseball's hiatus. But first, Mike Elias spoke with reporters via conference call yesterday, answered questions about everything from the changes to the draft to international scouting to whether baseball will be played at all in 2020. But the first question he was asked was about Trey Mancini, and Mike Elias gave a very encouraging update.
Been in constant contact with Trey Mancini. I talked to him this weekend, checked in with him today. I talked to his agent. He's doing well. He's got a major procedure and a major life event, and the recovery is a long one and it's a serious one. But his health status personally, the way that the operation went, and the kind of demographics, age-wise and health-wise that he resides in going into this puts him in a really good spot to make 100% recovery, both from a general health standpoint, but also a baseball sense. But it is going to take some time. He's going to be out for months rather than weeks. And I know he's looking forward to talking to you all and to his fans soon, and I'm sure he'll do that very soon, and will provide some more personal ends of the details. But with us not knowing what or when this season will start and end, it's really hard for me to put his recovery timeline in the context of the baseball season right now. But as I said earlier, it's going to be a months-long process rather than weeks-long, but we're totally confident in the outcome and his eventual comeback.
Let's bring in Dwight Smith Jr., who's coming off a massive night, 3 wins in one night. Dwight, congratulations, going 3-1 in your first debut games of the MLB The Show Players Only Tournament.
Oh, thank you. That was awesome, playing all those games last night. It was an adrenaline rush. I don't feel besides playing in games in real life, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, you said after game 1 that was, you had your heartbeat going, you had some jitters in the first inning of that first game. We're going to get to all 4 of those games and recap them as we go. But first and foremost, I want to get your thoughts. We just played a clip of Mike Elias talking about Trey Mancini and his comeback. He expects 100% recovery. He said, it's going to be a matter of months, if not weeks, but he's going to come back, and we are very confident in his comeback. What does Trey Mancini mean to you guys, and how great was that to get that news yesterday that Trey is on his way back to a comeback?
Oh, it was everything. Just hearing that news, because Trey's definitely one of the heart and souls of this team, and we're excited for him just to having him back to full health, because that's huge for just not only for the team's sake, but for his family's sake as well.
Yeah, and he had a good night in the show as well, as commandeered by you. But first, also, you appear to be coming directly from a workout. So how else, besides working out and playing MLB The Show, how else have you been spending your time during this hiatus as we wait for baseball to come back?
I've been trying to do baseball stuff, throwing with my dad, in the front of the house. I haven't done that really that much since high school. Hitting in the backyard, just really kind of what I did as a kid, and just enjoying my family, hanging out with my sisters, watching movies together. just doing all those family things. That's pretty much all I've been doing.
Well, it probably helps that you have a former major leaguer in the house and your dad. That
Yeah.
probably is an advantage when you say over some of your teammates who are probably with no major leaguers in their house.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge part. He could at least throw me BP.
Nice. What kind of movies have you been watching?
We actually watched together on Easter. We watched Bad Boys 3.
Nice.
The new one. I actually like that. Martin Lawrence he was pretty funny in that one. Seeing them do their roles as dads and like older cops, it was kind of funny.
Nice. I'll throw that one on the list. All right, let's get into MLB The Show because 3-1 on a night is pretty good. You started going up in Yankee Stadium against Tommy Conley and the Yankees. You had some jitters to start in that first inning. You gave up 4 runs right off the bat, but you had a little bit of juice in the bottom of the second. You put up a run, and then Chris Davis with a massive dead center 3-run bomb to tie it. As you said, Crush ain't done yet. Is that a preview of what's to come for Chris Davis's 2020 season?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said that, I meant it. Like what he was doing in spring training, like I feel like that was gonna translate to the season for sure. He looked like he was like focused and he was ready to be like the old Crush for sure.
Nice. And then you eventually take the lead, go on to win that game 6-5. Of course, these are just 3-inning games, so they are quick. But you had a long layoff between games 1 and 2, and in that time, Bo Bichette called in. Did he give you any advice?
No, we were just like talking about the comeback. I was just so excited about that comeback. So he was looking at the game and he was just like rooting for me to win that game when I came back. So that was just crazy.
Nice. Well, you weren't rusty at all because Trey Mancini hit a homer in the bottom of the first in that second game. As you described it, enter the boom boom room. Is that something that you guys have said before in the clubhouse? Because that's the first time I've ever heard that phrase.
No, we've actually never said that. I actually got that from a movie, Life.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, like Ray's Boom Boom Room. So like it just came out like. And it was like a song that came out like Rodney Ricch, so I was like, all right, I'm just say Boom Boom Room when he gets a homer.
We should put that in Gary Thorne's ear and see if he can start saying that for Trey Mancini's homers. Not only was
that started.
Not only was the offense going well in that game, but you threw a 3-inning perfect game as well. What can you say about the job of your pitchers in that game?
Pitchers did great in that game. I was just spotting, just locating, just trying not to make mistakes like I did in the first game. I just made adjustments. First inning, I was kind of releasing my pitches a little early, so I was leaving them up. But then, like, I started getting, like, perfect meters, so I started hitting spots better in that second game.
And then in the third game, Trey Mancini again homers. You take a 4-0 lead into the bottom of the third against Blake Snell and the Rays, and it all fell apart in that bottom of the third. They end up tying it up at 4. You go to extras, and in the fourth inning, you give up a walk-off homer. What went wrong there, Dwight?
Like I said, like kind of like the first game, I hung a couple pitches, and then you hang over the middle of the plate in that game. It's going to be a guaranteed homer almost, it seems like. But I just missed a couple spots. I made the right moves. Means pitched the first couple good innings, and then I brought in Givens to close out the game. I just missed my spot, so that was on me. But that's fine.
Yeah, you can't bring this stuff, I feel like, into the clubhouse. If somebody blows a lead like that in a video game, it's probably tough to hold them accountable in real life. But game
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Game 4, you got back on track going up against Cole Tucker and the Pirates. You yourself hit a home run, correct? Right center field. What did you see on that pitch?
I just saw I was just looking for something over the plate just to hit because I was kind of missing my spots like on that last game because it was a long night, so like I had to lock in for. It felt like we were playing like 16 innings like when we was in Anaheim, but yeah, I was just looking for a pitch over the plate and then I got it and I just connected on that one.
Do you think they did a good job rendering you in terms of not just how you look, but how you play as a player? Is it a good representation on MLB The Show?
Yeah, I feel like they did a solid job. They definitely got my leg kick right. That's for sure.
Nice. And of course the power was there, and as it is in real life. Maybe the most interesting thing of the entire night, I think, might have been the fact that one of the commenters referred to Hunter Harvey as Joe Exotic, and you took that and ran with it and referred to him as Joe Exotic the rest of the night. Are you going to bring that into the clubhouse? Is Hunter Harvey going to be Hunter Joe Exotic Harvey from now on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna change his name to Joe Exotic. Like, I like giving like everybody in the clubhouse calling them by nicknames, and I don't like calling everybody by their first name. So like, if I give you a nickname, it's gonna stick with me for a long time.
So if Hunter Harvey is Joe Exotic, who's Carol Baskin then?
Well, whoever he's facing is gonna be Carol Baskin.
There we go. I love it. Awesome, Dwight. Thank you so much for hopping on here. When are your next games, and when can people tune into you playing on MLB The Show?
My next game is going to be Thursday at 9 p.m. I got 4 games. I got the Braves with Luke Jackson. Who else I got? It's kind of hard for me to remember the names, but I think it was pretty tough, though. Pretty tough schedule. Oh, Matt Carpenter with St. Louis.
Okay.
Trevor May with Minnesota, and the last one was it was a tough schedule. I remember that. I can't remember the last one, but it's 4 games and it started at 9.
Gotcha. Well, everybody can tune in. I'm sure you had plenty of Orioles fans tuning in as well last night. Dwight, keep up the good work. Orioles fans have your back as we wait for baseball to return, and this is about all we got. So, Dwight, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, I'll just continue to give y'all a show and just entertain y'all, and just hopefully this passes by soon. But in the meantime, I'll just keep getting wins for Baltimore.
We're continuing our 20 in 20 series, highlighting 20 players in the Orioles organization to keep your eye on in 2020 and beyond. We've got 2 exciting ones today. Let's start with the lefty, DL Hall. Don't let his boyish smile fool you. DL Hall is mature beyond his years. Hall has the experience of an all-star futures game to go along with his terrific season in High A Frederick in 2019.
I think anybody tries to bring out their best stuff, when they're on such a big stage.
Hall's fastball is getting faster, and if the lefty continues to develop his wicked changeup, he could earn a spot in the O's rotation before long.
Most people's changeups are like mid to upper 80s at least. I can reach back and throw mine as hard as I can, and it's not going to get over like 83, 84 miles an hour. It just came about and it works.
Here are Hall's stats from 2019. The 21-year-old lefty struggled a bit to start the season with Frederick, but in his last 12 starts, he had a 2.59 ERA and allowed just 7 extra base hits. His season ended a bit early with an oblique injury, but all told, Hall finished with a 3.46 ERA in 19 games and a ridiculously high 12.9 strikeouts per 9. Next step in his development will be cutting down on that walk total. Next up, we have an exciting outfielder prospect for the Orioles, Yusniel Diaz. Just watching him take batting practice, it's hard not to get excited about Yusniel Diaz. His imposing frame and powerful swing paint the picture of an athletic corner outfielder in the bigs. But after falling out of most top 100 prospect lists, Diaz has work to do to reestablish himself. The 23-year-old has been a spring training standout for 2 years running.
And goodbye, home run.
If his spring success can carry over to the regular season, Diaz could remind everyone why he was the key piece in the Manny Machado deal. Here, Diaz stats like Hall. He also had an injury-shortened season, suffered from hamstring and quad injuries with AA Bowie. 76 of his 85 games were played in Bowie, 11 homers. He also hit 1 in the Eastern League playoffs. But a healthy, productive season from Diaz could put him in the Orioles outfield conversation in 2021. Well, of course, you can't forget about the MASN All Access podcast, which comes your way every Wednesday. Myself and Bobby Blanco are your 2 hosts. You can hear more about DL Hall and Yusniel Diaz on the podcast. and more from Mike Elias' conference call with reporters, including how the Orioles are prepping for a draft that could be as short as 5 rounds. You can catch the MASN All Access podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, watch it on YouTube or Facebook. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcast, you can get the MASN All Access podcast. Thanks as always to Hannah Broder and the birthday boy Bobby Blanco behind the scenes. Again, stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. There's only one way we're getting through this, and that is together. We'll see you tomorrow.